Hey everybody, and welcome to Guest Life. I am Dan Guest, your host, president of Guest Plumbing and Heating. Today we started this podcast to really hit home with entrepreneurs, like-minded people, other business owners, people in the trades. Have some fun with it, answer some questions that you guys have, and really just, meet some interesting people and see what they're all about. We find a lot of the times there's a bigger story behind the face. Today, we have the privilege of talking to Sam Holdridge, owner of Hamilton Rising, one of Hamilton's most innovative marketing solutions company. Sam, welcome, and thank you for coming.
Thanks so much for having me, buddy.
So, Sam, welcome to Canada.
I appreciate that.
I understand you have a couple things working against you. One, you're American.
That apparently is working against me, yeah, that is.
And the other is you run a marketing company, but you have a background in finance.
Yeah. For sure, buddy. It's kind of an interesting mix. It was, I got into I studied marketing as a minor in university, but never just thought I'd use it. And but always was involved in it, and really started in marketing out of necessity. Anything really starts there. We couldn't find a marketing company that was working for us, so we went out and started our own. That's really the kind of genesis back to, and this is year 11.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Wow.
It's been cool.
So why Hamilton? Obviously, making the jump from the States there. I don't really know where you were in the States, but why Hamilton? And then obviously that ties together with Hamilton Rising, being the name brand of your company. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. We were in Charleston, South Carolina, and my wife...
Don't know where that is. I have a globe in my office, but I don't actually use it.
Myrtle Beach. I don't know if you know where that is. Sure. Yeah. So it's just south of that, maybe like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And my wife's from Hamilton.
There we go.
And there it is.
Yeah. End of story. We can cut it off there. Wife's from Hamilton. He's here. So Hamilton Rising, just to make it, tell everybody he's real proud.
That's it. But the real answer is my daughter was young and she was starting school. Okay. And we really...
and your daughter's name?
Izzy. I've always loved Canada and had a great affinity for it. And so it was just time for her to start. My wife was like, she's not going to school in the States. So it was good. We just decided to come back to Canada and landed in Hamilton.
That's amazing.
It was cool. It's a great town.
So a little bit about, to everybody listening out there, a little bit of a backstory is Sam and Hamilton Rising have actually... we've reached out to them and they're doing our marketing and standing behind our product, which is Guest Plumbing and now the Guest Life podcast. So Sam's been a big part of my business kind of taking off and making sure that we're hitting all those marks when it comes to branding and brand awareness. So, what's one of the biggest questions that you get asked, Sam, being, the owner and the founder of a business?
Sure.
Coming from a business background, but also in a marketing company.
For sure.
What's the big question? What does everybody ask you? And then how do you answer it with grace without insulting anybody?
Yeah, for sure. Well, marketing is always the first dollar to go in any company, which is interesting.
Explain that to the listeners.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know, because we've had a conversation a couple times. And
for sure.
When things are tight, but explain that to the customer.
When there's a downturn or kind of budget constraints, it always seems like those are the first kind of things to go. Totally understanding. You got to keep the lights on. You got to keep employees paid. You got to do the day-to-day stuff. Just keep the doors open, right? Totally get that. One of the biggest misconceptions about marketing that we always have to address is that where it starts, right? So marketing is just trying to help a business or a byproduct of your product. Okay. This meaning like if we were actually talking to a business, we want to see your deliverables first. So if you have
the product.
Exactly. So if you're super strong deliverables, like you guys have great deliverables. So marketing becomes more about let's get the word out. We need to help you get the word out. Okay. Now if your deliverables were terrible, then it's just let's get the lie out. Let's just keep the kind of rotating door of clients and marketing stinks and everybody hates it. It becomes that kind of stranglehold.
Yeah, the customer service thrown out the door. It's how do we get the sale fast and quick?
And if the product's weak, it's really tough to market, right? And you're just going to throw money at everything. But if the deliverables are good, then you can kind of really throw money at what's working, understand your client, understand what they need, and then just message to them rather than sell to them. That's a big a big thing that we kind of try to address in our optics.
And then I know what happened with us in terms of, you market when you're slow so that you get busy. That's,
Sure.
easy failure.
Yeah, right.
It isn't, do one thing and then see results right away. What's, what do you give your clients as a timeline or an expectation, or just, people in general, when it comes to like, how many likes you get on Facebook or Instagram for personal or business?
Right. So we try to set the expectation from the beginning. I mean, control what we can control. I can't control that. I'm not Google, I'm not Facebook, and I'm not your audience. So if we set those expectations, we're going to get strung up in 2 seconds. So we try to set, we try to understand the audience and then help you develop content that's going to speak to them and engage with them, and then let it happen, right? Because if I could go on the other side of it, I'd be the consumer too. I can't tell you how many likes, views. That was really why we started Hamilton Rising.
Okay.
We wanted to have, when we're working with clients, that was the original plan. We wanted a data miner locally that would really say, what's the pulse of Hamilton? What's happening in Hamilton? So when we're talking to clients, we can say, here's what's happening actually out there. We have platforms running. And then it just kind of mushroomed into something.
Okay.
So when we're really coming up with a plan, we're talking about control what we can control, and getting the message out in the most engaging way. That's what we're focused on.
So planning, setting the bar, execution, and then, having the results be able to kind of come in and make sure that, your client understands what they're paying for, is actually bringing in the dollar value.
You got it.
Right.
And the first exercise we always want to go into is understanding who you're selling to. So what are you selling? Who's buying it, right? Because if you're selling something to
who's the market,
and then selling to them, if you're just throwing money at everything, you're going to be heavily disappointed in marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're selling something that's targeted at a 45-year-old woman and you're putting ads on TikTok, and you're saying, why is this working? You're going to be frustrated pretty quick. But you laugh, but a lot of people do that. They just blindly we need to spend this much on this much on this much on this. And then
one of my tactics is I always go to my mom.
Yep.
I always go back to my mom and I say, I kind of use it on her because I think she's so much of the general public, which is, doesn't know too much about the nitty gritty, especially I'm in the plumbing and heating industry.
Right.
And now what I like to say is I'm in the marketing business.
Yeah.
Right. You guys have helped create content for us, as well as, you being, the business owner and the founder, bouncing the ideas off of you, because if it doesn't succeed, then you don't succeed.
Sure.
So I always go back to my mom. So we were thinking if we wanted to do a little bit more commercial and some residential, and now it's flip-flopped, but we were going to call ourselves Guest Mechanical.
Yeah.
So if you guys know the industry, mechanical means, plumbing, heating, HVAC, the mechanical sides of a building, whether it's a restaurant or a high-rise or something like that. But my mom went, and so, again, testing, went to my mom and said, thinking about the names, Mom, Guest Mechanical. And she goes, I didn't know you guys could work on cars. So then, a light bulb went off and I said,
that's amazing.
You can't have that.
No.
So we kind of simplified it a little bit. And I think, the best thing for us that's really worked is informing the client.
For sure.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
The way we branded was, follow Apple's guidelines.
Right.
What does Apple do?
Yeah.
Right? Are they a tech company? Are they computers? Are they phones? Are they software? Are they, Dre, Beats?
Right.
You have to inform your client of what the brand is. So that's what, really stems from branding. So a couple other questions that we have for Sam. I think he's on, he's the first one on the podcast. I'm super nervous being on here, but also we've been talking about this for a while. So finally getting the ball rolling. I don't know if you guys realize, but it's Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We've all been up for probably 4 or 5 hours, ripping this out. By the time you guys get this, it's going to be released on the 31st. So we're really excited to see what 2020 brings and get some awesome content out to everybody.
It's fun, buddy.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you coming out. So,
of course,
how does a marketing company differentiate themselves from the marketing companies? I know personally, a lot of guys that are content creators, or they picked up an iPhone and they know how to do a selfie.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, what sets you apart?
So again, there's no kind of barrier to entry, right? There's no license we can go acquire to be a marketing company.
Yeah.
I think, and I can only speak for us, I can only speak for our shoes that we put on.
Yeah.
But having a kind of diversified background has really helped us, meaning that being on the business and startup end and kind of venture capital VC end, having that with a mix of marketing has been really, for us, very helpful when we're sitting down talking about something.
Okay.
Understanding the operations of a business, the goals. I mean, it's profit, buddy. I mean, you got to make money to pay people, right? And understanding that with a mix and then telling it and then having it with marketing. So it's not just like sell, 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 sell. Here's the coolest thing. Understanding the kind of a more holistic and global approach to marketing, having a business and marketing. That the two they're interrelated. Because to your point earlier, what you said, that now that you're a marketer, if you're in business, you've always been a marketer.
Yeah.
And your execution every day on your job markets your business.
Yeah.
I'm only here to help you.
Yeah.
I'm only here to help you get that out.
And I hate the word sales when it comes to that, because
Sure.
I think it's so important about creating that buzz and that culture. I mean, I've worked with your team, so tell me a bit about the team.
Yeah.
Where do you guys have some very charismatic people on your
sure.
team. One of the situations that I was in was we were doing an interview where Sam and Al's my operations manager, who always pushes me out of my comfort zone. He's one of those guys that kind of takes it to that next level and says, Dan, you got to get in front of the camera. Well, I think I should have worn 2 undershirts that day, the amount of sweat that was coming out of my pores.
Yeah.
But we had about 4 lights set up.
Yeah.
You had 2 different camera angles.
Sure.
And then there's this plumber turned business owner, which is me,
Yeah, totally.
sitting in front of this camera trying to tell my story. I think we had probably 2 full-length films of edits that you guys had to go through. So tell me a bit about how you had a team there. What are some of the strengths? What would you be looking for in a future team? Because I know you guys are building as well.
For sure. So Hamilton's really been a cool and great city. We haven't... we've put our stuff out there and people have just come. We've kind of had the Field of Dreams acquisition model for talent.
If you build it, they will come.
With not even trying to. We've gotten some really good talent just reaching out to the platform. So
and are you talking about business or are you talking about just talent? So your staff.
So that I'm specifically talking about staff.
Okay,
we haven't had to do an outreach because of the product we put out there. We've had people who want to do it. There's a lot of people who kind of want to be involved in something, I guess, similar to what we're doing. So that's been a big benefit for us. Where we found success, we kind of always drive that. What we did today wasn't good enough, so we want to continually get better. And the team members who've been that have been shown some success, or we've enjoyed working with, or the team that we want to create has that same kind of mentality that we want to own it. We want to keep getting better.
So from a marketing standpoint, being a business owner, what's the depth chart? What's the roster look like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, football, we know how to field a team.
Yeah.
Baseball, we got the outfielders, we got the infielders.
Sure.
Marketing.
Yeah.
I like treating plumbing as a sport. We got a roster. How do we do it? How do you field your roster up with kind of the best talent and also talent, because I think you're doing something different. I think you're doing something unique. Yeah. And, you need a specific person that's going to fill that roster. How do you make those, transitional moves for someone that's, maybe they're good at filming or videography, but they're not good at, being charismatic or, dealing with a sweaty plumber client that's, swearing at them because they're frustrated.
For sure. I mean, I think it's one of those situations where it's having a conversation up front and having them understand that trying to put them in roles where it's 80-20. They're doing 80% of what they're good at. Everyone's always going to be 20% of the stuff that they hate. So trying to fill those roles where there's strengths, at least during their day, they're doing the majority of stuff that they're strong at. Someone who's really good at organizing isn't always hyper creative and doing that. It's not an execution. So understanding those kind of different roles and really finding the person that's really strong for those specific roles.
Nice.
And it's trial and error, because people also have the fallacy that we've always run into, or I've seen people run into, and myself have run into, is the person that you're sitting across and hired today is, you're not hiring a robot. They're not going to be the same in 6 months. They're going to grow as a person and maybe leave and go do their own thing or go do something completely else. But so I've always felt like it's our team's job and my job to kind of steward that role, help them and prepare them, give them every tool that they need to succeed. And if so really, understanding that the person you're sitting and hiring and putting in that role may grow to be something totally different. But
And then do you fear as a business owner, because we get asked this all the time, we spend a lot of time and efforts in training our staff and to become better.
Sure.
I had some really good advice once where it was, you need to train people to be able to leave and give them a reason to stay.
It's a great quote, yeah.
Does that resonate with how your business is? Because a lot of, people in the industry, why not open your own business?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I think as a business owner, there are so many great benefits from owning a business and operating your own kind of, statement and legacy and stuff like that. There's also a lot of struggles. And I truly believe, now that I've been in business and been able to meet so many people, it's not for everybody, but also I want to be able to give the gift of opportunity if that's what someone's, capable of, right? Don't hold them back. So
good for you for that.
Yeah, thanks, man. You shouldn't be putting your foot on someone's neck to say, you got to stay. And we always want to make sure that our team is the best that they can possibly be. So what do you feel? Have you had anybody leave that you?
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Again, we're not working with robots. We're working with people. And,
people. I love it.
And ultimately, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. One of the biggest fallacies in life that you can change somebody. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Our deliverables are only going to get better the more we facilitate growth in the team that we work with.
Amazing.
Whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You want to go start a business, be the direct competition, and bury us using all our secrets? At the end of the day, you can give somebody the cure for cancer, but they still have to execute on it, right? So,
that's great.
You could tell your competition, here's our QuickBooks, here's our projections, here's everything we're doing.
Yeah.
But they still have to do it.
Yeah.
So, and you gotta be mildly psychotic to go do it, right? Because for me, it never shuts off. I guess is what I'm trying to say. As a business owner,
I think that's why we get along so well. we're both a little off,
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we bet. We're both. We had to do this on a Saturday because we didn't have time during the week.
Every day's a Tuesday, buddy.
Yeah, I stole that quote from Sam. Every day's a Tuesday. Not in a negative.
No, not at all.
We're not looking at that.
It's just always on, buddy. It's always.
You always got to be on. It's not Monday where you're scrambling, and it's not Friday where you're getting ready for the weekend. It's a Tuesday every day of the week. So, future business owners out there, or people that want to make that jump, come talk to Sam. Come talk to me, because we will tell you every day is a Tuesday. It's a great mindset to be in. It's go time, baby.
That's it, buddy. Whatever. Yeah, what you have to define that for yourself. What that means for you.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love it. So, one of the things we want to try to do here is get the people to understand a little bit about Sam. So, if you had one superpower, what would it be and why?
To heal people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deep. That was deep.
It sounds deep. I know. What
about flying?
At the end of the day, it kind of gets old, right? If I can heal everybody, if we're sitting here and there's somebody that's struggling and we help them, right? This is, I believe it's selfish too, because it feels so good, right?
Yeah.
It feels amazing.
Euphoric.
And if you had that gift all the time to do that, it's like having heroin, natural heroin, that you're doing that and helping them and facilitating, and that connection you'd feel with people, that'd be way deeper than me flying around shooting laser beams out of my eyes or some shit. Yeah. So, I really feel that having a strong connection with somebody, and for me, again,
we're
a little sappy,
we're a couple of dream boys over here.
I know, I'm saying right, exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Breathe underwater.
Yeah.
I know. I think it would jump the shark for me in about a month, because I'd be like, okay, what's next?
I think that's amazing. I think one of the biggest things for anybody listening that is a business owner, and coming from a small business, how many staff do you run currently?
Sure. So we run 4, and then we outsource. People come on and work on projects. They'll do project to project that we know.
So let's give the, what are the listeners saying? Like, so 4 plus, like you got up to 10 sometimes?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on the size of the project, right? Because if we're doing
when we did that one
social
where you went
one-off
out and shot all our content, we had that photographer come in. She did all the the headshots for LinkedIn.
You got it. So we'll run all the assets. So if you're talking about, there's production staff that's going to handle like the content creation stuff. So they're going to handle like video and photo, and then you have others that are going to handle more of the marketing assets. So you have digital assets. So that's the one fallacy that people get caught up on, is that there's a single digital point that you're just going to hone in on, and that's it.
And
right?
it's over.
It's over.
It's over. Sign the checkbook. Or
You need all of them.
Yeah.
So you need a strong web presence. Get your web presence found. You need social presence. You need possibly some kind of spend presence. So there's different people that help in different areas. Now, the most labor intensive is content creation.
Yeah.
So most of the people in our industry don't do content creation. They outsource to the one-off people, or they have a single person in-house.
Okay.
That was one of the things that was kind of the genesis story of Hamilton Rising. I wanted our own production staff because no videographers understood marketing, and I was ticked. And we're like, okay, we're doing this. I went to film school back in high school, and really, honestly, it was just so I can get away with my buddies for a couple hours. That's how I started it. And I went 3 years for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And never thought I'd use it again.
I was asking what school you went to because we're in Hamilton, but I have no idea where you live.
I know everybody around here. It's like, I went here. I had no idea you were around here. But
Obama wasn't president then, was he?
He was not president.
It was
then.
a couple of years before.
Yeah, he was probably in Hawaii.
Wasn't Nixon, was it?
I'm not that old. But long answer to a short question, but it really, our staff is heavy on the content creation portion because we know it's so important.
Yeah.
A lot of marketing plans will worry about the stuff that's before the deliverables, meaning like all the setup. We got the web stuff set up. We got social. Let's run ads. Well, what's on the other side of the ad? Let's put a still up. And then they wonder why the marketing campaign doesn't work. So we really we're super concerned about the content that we're helping people create, and that by default helps all the other stuff.
And I think it is a full service. A lot of things, because we get asked all the time, because we were one of the first companies in the trade industry to jump into Instagram at the time, and now we're really jumping into LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We hired a co-op student from Vietnam who came in through Mohawk. He started last week. And he's coming up with TikTok Fridays. So he's now leading our TikTok Friday idea, which is giving some context. So, Guest Plumbing as an entity is not just, serious business all the time.
Yeah,
We're
smart.
having fun. We're an office. We're a team. So we're like our 25 staff right now, and we're talking about like what's a rewarding thing in terms of superpower. And I think that was a great question. I'd probably have to cut it, edit it, and steal it for your answer.
Take it, buddy.
But I think one of the best things that I've been able to do is create opportunity for people.
Yeah.
It's been a big one for me personally, which, again, coming from a plumbing background, I never knew that I had the skills, the knowledge, or the ability to, have an office space and create a podcast and, have this content, this marketing background. So I always said, well, I remember telling my dad, what do you want to do in life? Well, I want to be important and I want to go to meetings. And I thought, that's so broad, but that was me. Yeah. Back then. I didn't know. I didn't know I wanted to be a plumber. I didn't know, I didn't have this long longevity. So starting it, coming full circle, and we're in our 5th year now, and I think that's what makes me excited about the day-to-day.
Yeah, for sure.
On a Saturday morning, we're here shooting a podcast and having the time of our lives, and really getting to know, what our market's about and what the industry's saying, and being involved in our community and our city, and giving back, which is so important.
It is.
Getting the word out to people that may not be able to sit in front of, a founder of a marketing company.
For sure.
Right? So those are the people, like, when we're going to the Chamber of Commerce events or a builders event, and, how do you do your marketing? Well, you have to start. So whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you have to have the back end.
Yeah.
So we're finding that to be, really prevalent in, our success.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So, final question of the day.
This is it. Okay.
That's it. We're getting there.
I feel a lot of pressure.
I got so many questions, but I don't know.
People checked out a little while ago. So okay,
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure right now. Final
For
question.
all 2 of our listeners besides my mother and my sister.
My mom's probably listening too.
Okay, she's out there. So besides the 3,
Yeah.
are you worth more dead than alive?
I guess it depends who you ask. I severely hope not.
Okay, great.
I severely hope not.
All right. So thanks so much, Sam, for being
Yeah.
on our first
Yeah,
podcast.
of course,
0001. That means at least the goal, we set the bar high here. You can't hit your year-end goals in August.
You got to start, right?
Yeah. So 001 is this first podcast. Sam
fun,
Holdridge from Hamilton Rising
Yeah.
at Hamilton Rising. We're going to put a link in our bio. Thank you, everyone, for listening and taking the time out of your day, even if you never listen again because this was horrible. We had a blast. So,
Yeah, we did.
The Guest Life podcast. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thanks for Al for producing it.
Yeah, we've got Al Forto in the background. Saturday morning, he's here. We'll get a photo up of Al later. And remember, we can all do a little bit better. So
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. There's been a lot of fun, buddy. Thanks, man.